Okay, hi everybody. We are here for the final chapter of 2023. We have a final of a monthly knockout for December between cdrake222 and gozik. And I'm here with Gabriel CDC. Hi, Gabriel.
Hi.
So let's see what these players have in store. So while we wait, so cdrake defeated me in Tamesia and Jamdalla. Quite a list of players, and gozik, a Thai guy, Colossus of Cloud, PV666. Okay, so we have metalworking for cdrake and the wheel for gozik. Cdrake draws.
So a bit of a castle war. I don't tend to really like to share either of those two right off the bat, metalworking or the wheel.
Yeah, I agree. It's not.
So, but with Gojek having another card with three castles, it sort of establishes an early lead there, where it's a little hard for Sea now to ever get a good metalworking in,
Yes.
especially with the wheel running like this.
Yes. Now a lot will depend on who else found clothing or pottery. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that Gozik was looking for one or the other of them with that second wheel action.
yes, I see Drake decides it's time to go to age.
Run for the threes. It's a risky play, I think,
Yes.
and that's a very inert three with engineering with so many castles on Gojik's board.
Yes. Yeah, I see monument. I see monument and for
I
Goji.
feel like Drake needs to find machinery or something to put some pressure on.
Yes. Instead he draws
Mm-hmm.
this. I mean, at the moment I see Gojik ahead quite a lot. Also
Right. I mean, like you could use ores here. You could have, as you said, a masonry for monument. You could have pottery. Probably have pottery. Definitely have either pottery or clothing.
yeah. And
This
also
is a pretty frightening place for Drake.
yeah. It's I mean, he can even keep drawing and try to find construction and I mean,
Yeah, so that you can do the masonry into construction thing. I tend to prefer getting the early score achievements, but that may be my own
no,
prejudices.
I agree. It's just that at the moment Sidrek cannot score, so like
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah, and I probably see Drake can't even hold the three with any confidence because that renders him vulnerable to archery.
yes, yeah, like it's yeah,
Okay, and so he's gonna try with clothing.
yeah,
Okay, so this puts a lot of pressure on Sea Drake to play something so that uh, the monument comes from masonry instead of coming from scoring six cards off of clothing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's quite bad. And there is still a chance he has pottery, which means when Cloving stops scoring.
I mean, I guess it depends on what cdrake does here, but I imagine if I'm gozik, I might follow this up, even if let's say cdrake only plays one green, yellow, or purple card. I can see myself in gozik's position, just doing more clothing, not even bothering to achieve, not even bothering to use masonry.
Yes.
Of course, depending on the details.
Yeah, like unless two cards are melded, I don't see.
Hmm. I mean, also, if that would render you, if it's monotheism and you'd be vulnerable to engineering, perhaps there's a difference.
Okay, okay. This is
Interesting.
a good way to at
I
least.
mean, depends. Is one of those construction? Because if not, Gojek has a lot of resources to just send road building back.
That's true, but at least Clothing like exchanges hands for one round. Like
Uh-huh.
you draw a card for sharing. Like
Yeah.
of course it's not great, but like it's better than the other person getting monument and 1,000 points. I don't know.
So I wonder what Gojek is thinking about here. Yeah, pottery was like, unless that was the achievement, that was an obvious one. But what is he thinking about for what does he maybe not want to mill the second one? I find that hard to imagine.
Okay, not making, nothing.
Not making is not going to be particularly effective here.
No, but at least it's one color of extra when when Clothing goes back.
Mm. So what do you do here? Do you try to start pottery? Do you worry about mathematics since the board position is otherwise so dominant? Or do you do this and road building?
Get Clothing back, I guess. I mean, he
Hmm.
can still score so much.
Yeah. And putting ores there, of course, like now he keeps road building, and so there's some danger to using mathematics. Maybe you get something red or something green, and then road building can cover it up or steal it again.
Mm. So he melded. Okay. Okay, we are into all or nothing territory, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I
it
mean
worked out.
that paid off better than than it
Yeah.
might have, right?
I mean, he can like Gozik can still arrange things so that mysticism gets rid of the ones quite quickly. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
he's gaining quite a lot of time. Now let's see. Yeah, it is still a very bad situation.
And even like no matter what that four is, Gojek won't be able to immediately steal it with or cover it with road building because he won't have anything in his hand. So I think that given the situation, this was like, as you say, a desperation play, but one that at least for now has paid off in delaying what seemed to be an inevitable, at least three achievements. Now only looks like two achievements, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Problem is navigation was okay, okay.
Yeah, not bad. And now you have a shot at like maybe that turns up coal.
Yeah, it's possible that okay, no, goes just goes for points. I'm not sure about. I mean, cdrake still has map make. Okay, I mean, not very useful at the moment. But
Yeah, I definitely don't think achieving there is what I would do because there's no need.
Well, like luck is not on cdrake's.
Yeah,
But
that was
okay,
not
now
the
yes,
right time to.
now map making is more useful.
Mhm. Yeah, and I don't like putting those ones in there at all because, like, even without chemistry, it just gives Sea Drake something to do that like gives resources in the score pile that might someday be useful for something, whether it's chemistry, as in this case, or avoiding um, vaccination or.
Hmm. Actually, I was thinking that maybe one thing, I don't know if he had archery in his hand.
Mhm.
He could have put archery first, then mysticism, and then steal the
Yeah.
four.
Mhm.
And in the meanwhile, you're like making like getting rid of the ones, and pottery starts to become
Uh-huh.
relevant again. And you can do it twice because like maybe you can sort of choose which cards you want.
I guess here I go back to using clothing because you want to get up to the threes so that you have a chance of getting the three before
Mm.
um, Sea Drake has to do like a couple of things. He's got to replace everything with chemistry, use map making again, replace with chemistry a third time. So you probably have enough time to get the three as well.
Okay.
Well, now you definitely have enough time to get the three.
Well, also you can use mysticism if you really want.
Uh-huh. Well, he has to achieve the two first, of course,
Yes.
and he'd better do that now because okay, or in either order, but
Yeah, yeah,
and paper is a nice thing for mysticism to turn up there. Now he's guaranteed access to the fours, either via enterprise or via paper itself. So that looks nice.
yes. And also there is a risk that maybe the three he got is like
I think the sound is now on.
no, sorry, it's the other somebody played on my.
I see.
Okay, now let's see if he has medicine. But probably you should just accept defeat for 4 and just achieve 3.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, the position is still dominant, except for enterprise. The cards in Cedric's tableau are very slow or passive cards. Um, on the other hand, like pottery, mysticism, road building all have active capabilities. So, you've got a good chance of racing up to join Sea Drake in the fives and contesting for the fives.
Yeah.
Especially at this point, there's no obvious way for Sea Drake to get past 24 points.
Here, would you share
Do you mean if
for
I were
paper?
Gozik or if I were Sea Drake?
No, for Cdrake.
If I'm splayed right, why would I want to splay left
No, just gives 2 extra.
castles? Like you're trying to go for ores,
Yeah.
you're saying? I think that the light bulbs are more valuable unless it's like an immediate thing where I know that is going to give me the points from ores. I mean, I guess as we said, like he's gonna be sort of stuck at 24. So maybe you're right in the sense that you give yourself a chance to get to 25. I mean, maybe at some point, there's gozik is still ahead in castles at the moment. Okay, well now I really don't get it.
Probably he wanted the card, I guess. I don't know.
Mhm.
Not sure why, but
Yeah, I guess it doesn't seem worth it giving the card to gozik, but I guess desperation.
maybe he's hoping for printing press. Because
Navigation?
navigation was one of the last, like it was drawn by
Oh, I
Alchemy.
didn't see.
I think it was invention, navigation, and
And
gunpowder.
gunpowder. Well, where are we in the 4 pile?
Uh, there are still 5 cards.
5. Huh. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it
you're
was
right.
powder invasion. Yes, like navigation would have been nice.
Mhm. Well, I think um, I forget how the interface looks for returning cards for alchemy with those. I feel like regardless of what the rules say, there's some visual indication of the order that they're going back in,
Mm-mm.
and so probably cdrake knows exactly if he's paying attention where navigation is.
I know that he knows, yes, because
Mhm.
the ordering is like he returned navigation first,
Mhm.
invention, and then gunpowder. So it's
So third from the top at this point.
yeah. I think if you pay attention to how the cards are drawn, and
Yeah, I've noticed that too, which seems incorrect, but it is what it is.
so now he could do it if yeah, I don't know. Let's see what cdrake does. I
I mean,
mean,
if he splays, he's giving navigation to gozik, right?
yeah.
Uh, oh no, because gozik doesn't have a 4 for the sharing. It would be
And
one of
also
the threes.
he does it again.
Mhm. So now gozik could. Is there anything that he could do to get that for himself? It doesn't look like it, right?
Mm, no, no, I don't see.
Well, that's a nice play then by cdrake. Assuming he is paying attention and knows that that's what he's targeting. But is there even actually a way for cdrake to draw it? It looks like no.
Well, he can use enterprise
Uh-huh. Let's
twice.
see. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Also, at that point, no, I mean, Potter is relatively slow at the moment, at least. Like there are enough
I
ones.
mean, if he does that, then I guess he's already got the 4, so it doesn't matter that he's slowing down a little bit. Maybe that's his best shot. I mean, or I guess maybe Gozik is thinking about this too, or I guess we don't know.
I mean, if he does that, like, okay, he gets paper, then he gets navigation, and gozik will end up with invention, which at the moment is not.
Not super relevant. I mean, the issue is he's
Yeah.
still vulnerable to road building.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's a great idea, but it would
Yeah,
be fun
I
to
feel like
see.
there's.
Yeah.
Guess it also depends on the second action. If you're Gozik, thinking about the things that we're saying right now, what do you do? You got this dominant leaf lead. We haven't seen machinery,
Yeah.
but if cdrake starts drawing fives, presumably, like there's a reasonable chance that Gozik can take them. So you want to hide that capability, but I mean, what do you actively want in this case? I feel like I want to start making pottery more effective. So,
So mysticism,
or pottery itself, like fine, it's slow, but whatever.
like returning to freeze or to two freeze.
No, just returning a one, just like
Then
slowly burn through.
map making becomes.
Ah, yeah, of course.
I mean, could still. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
road building. Is he gonna shut down? Okay, machinery is there. This makes him vulnerable to ores. No, they're still tied.
I mean, one option could be. I mean, road building there is so annoying also because, like, let's say that cdrake finds coal when it gets
Mm,
ordered.
yeah.
No problem is even if cdrake um, has found printing press, cannot. I mean, has to meld it, do something. Wait.
And be vulnerable to machinery, yeah, if he doesn't. And then depending on what comes out, might be vulnerable to road building. I feel like if I'm cdrake, I'm thinking, how can I make sure I get the five?
Yes.
I think this idea of using enterprise twice is reasonable. It's like slow, but it is forcing Gozik to use the resources in hand.
Well,
Perhaps he agrees, and it also like reduces the number of crowns on Gozik's tableau, which constrains Gozik in terms of like playing other cards with crowns later, right? Because then they're immediately vulnerable to enterprise. So I think that this is like not a bad play at all. It's a very reasonable try. It gets cdrake in range of the five. It makes Gojik's board more inert. It by proxy attacks his hand. I think this is a good move. We were joking about it at first. Like I think both of us thought it was like a little ridiculous, but the more I looked at the board, the more I liked that play.
actually, I mean, given how many tools Gozik has, I think it's not. Also,
Yeah, I mean, like if you're
misconception.
Gojik, you got to respond to that. Like you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
just you can't let cdrake start taking those.
And you cannot really use invention, otherwise cdrake will just like share and get five next round.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, probably we'll see road building again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess depending on what the two fours are, maybe you could imagine like road building followed by machinery. We know that the last four there is gunpowder, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
So we haven't seen printing press, we haven't seen colonialism.
Perspective,
Uh-huh. Reformation,
reformation. You
and presumably one other.
know. Anatomy.
Yeah, I don't see how any of the others like make sense as um a play instead of road building. What do we think the threes are? Optics, perhaps? I mean, if it's optics, it's like unfortunate. You don't want to give cdrake optics with road building.
Yeah. Then, like,
I mean, certainly not. I
medicine.
mean, yeah, medicine. So you don't really love to play medicine over machinery right now.
Mhm.
Um, I imagine if colonialism is in Gojik's hand, that's like easy as one of the two. You know, get colonialism on top of ores, a lot less dangerous.
But gozik went for invention, which is
Huh. And not
like
exactly what I
maybe.
would have done. I guess conceding the five.
I wonder
What?
if he has in evolution in no, sorry, education in hand, but it's a very risky play. Okay, now he gets a five.
Mhm.
A five
Yeah,
in.
I don't know about really risk. It concedes the five. Like that was not fait accompli, but it was with navigation there. It was going to be hard to fight that unless he was going to contest with road building. Guess we don't know what those threes and fours were.
I don't know. It just seems to me that like unless your hand is terrible,
Mm-hmm.
like stealing navigation seems like a reasonable thing to do. Or maybe he wants to do it
So
now.
so cdrake knows. I mean, Goshek and cdrake know roughly what each other's fours are.
Mm.
So this probably means that cdrake has. Um, oh, He's not even going to trade it because he's just going to tie him on crowns. It probably means that cdrake has colonialism, and then Goshek really doesn't want to give road building to cdrake and have road building sort of sit there forever
Mm.
as a threat, right?
Yeah. I mean, he ended up giving away pottery. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, with those three ones there, it was going to be slow.
Yeah.
But I feel like cdrake may have stabilized. Like, this is impressive because, like, he looked really far behind, even just a couple of turns ago.
The double enterprise play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I thought it was ridiculous when you said it at first, but maybe you saw right from the beginning that it wasn't totally ridiculous, that it was maybe a good line, but I did not.
No, my only point was like, like I sort of forgot about road building for a second, which was something I didn't consider.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the idea of like Potter is stuck with the ones, navigation steals. At the same time, you have chemistry to rechange them if you want. Like,
Uh-huh.
but also,
And
I
so
like
now printing press is down. If I am Goshek, I'm a little scared because like cdrake can take that.
Mm, yes. Well, I mean, he can give him compass first.
Well, he can use it twice. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
compass is a good card for him to have there as well.
yeah. That's true. I guess a lot depends what cards are left in. But like, because you could use road building, empty the hand, sort of, and then use machinery and steal everything except one card. Like, and trade only one card.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Do they know what that 3 is? Is that returned, or maybe that's the one that cdrake returned with tools?
Um. Oh. Oh, I have no idea.
So if it's that one, then cdrake knows what it is, and like I have confidence that if it's that cdrake like has that notated.
Yes. Do you think he will
I don't
steal?
think we saw what that 3 was, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and now there's another target for enterprise, so like it's going to be longer before you can get printing press, and presumably like
I mean, also he's
optics is
behind
nice,
on.
but
He is behind.
oh, he's behind. Yeah, so then yeah, now navigation and enterprise are pretty useless, and cdrake's board looks a little passive for the moment, but certainly like not out of it. Like it's dangerous um for gozik to use astronomy, to use optics.
I mean, he will probably do. If I know him, I think he goes for printing press.
Hmm. But again, like you get the wrong 7 and you make yourself vulnerable in some way or another.
Well, I mean, his plays, if he gets a 7, you can decide what to do with it. Like,
Hmm. Yeah, I guess his hand is not vulnerable.
yeah, and like I mean, it's only 2 points. If Sid Drake's takes, okay, he gets a 6, but he has to give up 3 points. Plus, he has no way to get new score at the moment.
So if you're cdrake, are you even thinking here, or are you just drawing? I feel like I just draw. Like I don't think chemistry is worth doing right now, and nothing else is effective at all.
Yeah, the only other option is ores, I guess. If you like to
To
give more,
to draw the.
I don't know. If you like to give ones to other people, I'm not entirely sure.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't think that's a great idea with machinery out.
no, I agree. No, I'm just saying those are
I
the
mean,
two
I guess
options.
the other option is to meld that 4. We don't know what that 4 is.
Yeah,
That was the one from gozik, though. I imagine it's not good.
I mean, he could just draw and hope for call.
Hmm.
And what else? I mean, at the moment, Gozik doesn't have a reliable way to score, even though there are so many 5s with crowns. That, like, that could be an option, I guess. Even though, okay, it's risky because navigation and enterprise could get back in the... Like, imagine Gozik gets pirate code.
So, was the interface always like this, where the hand was revealed with the second part of machinery if there was no card with a castle?
No, they changed it. So they changed some cards so that now you have to reveal the hand, like for instance, ores.
Hmm. Interesting.
And and now they should do it for some.
I guess it's been long enough since I played Innovation myself on here that I didn't realize. Okay, and you were right about gozik. He uses printing press, gets that 7, and we'll see what he does with it.
But he played perspective first to avoid sharing.
Reasonable. And cdrake did melded anatomy.
And, yeah, I think it was to prevent machinery to get. Now cdrake must be sad that he doesn't have enough castles to use ores.
Yeah. I mean, I guess anatomy is too slow right now.
Okay.
I think it's still a little dangerous to do that, but
I mean, no. I think it just wants stuff to use with perspective, I guess.
I guess you could start doing metric system. That like puts you in a good position. I normally think metric system is too slow, but with the purple and the yellow piles with enough cards, I feel like it's not the end of the world to like get everything splayed and like have a dominant position in all of the get a dominant position in all of the as many of the symbols as possible. Maybe not leaves still, but
yeah. I mean, that's a good draw, I think.
I mean, normally I don't like to see metric system because I think it's too passive. But with optics and astronomy, there, like you don't have to really worry about your hand being too passive. Okay, so he does even have enough leaves. I didn't look at the pile. Okay, then I definitely like this play. Now, cdrake is what only ahead in factories. This is tough spot then.
And also, like,
And score, I guess ahead in score.
Gozik has also vaccination, so like in the long run.
He can start, yeah, using that. I mean that's gonna be a little slow, but I guess it doesn't have to be that fast. cdrake is not even at 30 score yet.
I mean, also, I think now that everything is played, I don't know what that 7 is, but unless it's yellow, he could start thinking about melding it and scoring a lot. I mean,
Yeah, I mean like there's I mean he's got sixes. He could probably just score with perspective, right? I mean achieve with perspective. Then he's like one step away. Yeah, looks like gozik has taken back control. Maybe we'll have to see if cdrake has an answer. He's got a lot of fives. But gozik could achieve the 6 on his next turn if he wanted to. There's a couple of special achievements that he's well positioned to aim toward.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be fast enough.
No. I mean, now
So I guess like
gozik achieves 6.
and that's one option. Another option would be to vaccinate, and then you've got a 7 down, and maybe you end up okay. So he will achieve the 6. I mean, the only problem is that then you've lost your vaccination. So
cdrake could go to.
cdrake could like establish something using factories, I suppose.
Yeah, he could use cunning and hope for.
Purple.
Yeah, and like maybe hope for monument. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, whoever gets 7, like if gozik gets 7, it's over.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he's hoping to get industrialization.
Okay, well, that did not get him monument. Got him plenty of points, but he's going to need something that gives him a tempo play because, like optics is that built-in tempo play. So if gozik could just like get a tiny bit more score.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's a little hard for gozik to get a tiny bit more score. He needs to draw twice to use perspective, get lucky with optics. I guess he knows what the bottom six is. It does not have a crown. I don't think they know what the six on top of it is. It's vaccination, right? That he returned.
Yes.
But I don't think they know what the one on top of it is.
I mean, we haven't seen encyclopedia. I mean, also so many cards and cdrake score piles.
Haven't seen quantum theory. Haven't seen
Atomic theory.
either the red ones, machine tools, industrialization. I mean, industrialization covers optics, but like, I guess it's too dangerous. You don't want to share that really, but okay. Does this guarantee it? No, because with that many cards in hand, classification is a threat to steal the 7.
I mean, probably I would meld
Meld
railroad.
a 7, but then meld what?
Meld railroad. Like it lets you draw a lot of cards. Like perspective becomes quite strong.
Yeah, but it's slow, right? Like second action meld railroad, then gozik scores and draws. You still need to. Oh, I guess then you have to use railroad and then use perspective, so you can't achieve next turn. I think then cdrake can easily.
No, so he went for probably once
Sharing perspective. Was that a mistake?
Possibly.
I mean, that is going to just establish such a dominant. I guess there's no way for cdrake to get a 7. If cdrake does this, then gozik has a 7 in hand ready for next turn. So you'd have to get lucky with your classification. That might be his best shot though, because let's say you don't do that, you don't share, then that means gozik is hand empty but has optics ready and is well above 37 points. So it
I
doesn't
would
even
do
matter if
can.
you would what?
You could do can. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, he shared. Okay. Like if I had been cdrake, maybe I would have let him.
Oh no, it's clever because he's sharing and he's going to be drawing a 6 because he returned a 6 rather than returning a 5.
All right.
So gozik will not end with a 7 in hand.
The problem is now. Okay, there is still a 3 which stops optics. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and so now doesn't this just mean cdrake gets no, because astronomy could get lucky. Okay, so gozik can take the whatever, like we know
Okay. Okay, I guess it's.
so if you're gozik, you take that shot, take that like roughly 1 in 5 shot, a little better than that because the railroad was returned.
An explosive is out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nope, didn't pay off. Man, it really like a couple of times it felt like Gozik had this all sewn up. Like cdrake is really being resilient here.
Yeah, and also like explosives there is quite useful, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe gozik should just
Give up on the 7.
like maybe use optics one, like get rid of that free in some way.
Get ready for the tempo play.
Or maybe oh,
Yeah, but
he could use astronomy again.
uh,
He will get an 8 in hand.
yeah, but what is yeah, because we know railroad is down. So since railroad is down, um there's no chance that cdrake will meld an 8.
Unless he returned the other one.
No, but railroad has to be in there, right? So
I
if
mean,
gozik
one is in
uses
his score pile, no? We don't know. Like he used perspective to return
uh,
one.
right. So he should know which one is returned and should
Yes.
know which one, whether it's safe to do that. But that does that guarantee it? The chemistry doesn't do anything. No, because then explosives can steal, but it's too slow.
Oh, ho.
Okay, so he
Like
does
you,
do the optics play. But even if explosives stole, that would be an empty hand.
yes.
Gojek would have drawn an 8. So I feel like if that were
No,
railroad,
because he would have two. He would have two cards for sharing, right?
because he'd have his own card plus the
Mhm.
so then he'd end up with just the 8, which I mean just a 7, which is not good enough. I guess then he could use optics.
Okay, now
Is that fast enough? Lighting?
now he's using electricity, I think.
I see, because he was blocked from using electricity. Okay, and now like with that play of education, his score is going to be too low, but he'll have the 9, so he's giving up on the 8 basically, and saying I'm gonna fight with the 9s.
Well, he can use perspective
Mm-hmm.
plus. Yeah, I think.
So explosives would.
Explosives now.
I mean, it's really the only shot, right? Like if he gets his, none of those others are going to do something.
Yes. So explosives and then electricity, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the only line, right? Like, there's not anything else any other chance.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, I am really impressed by cdrake's play. Like, he was really behind in many times, and he like really turned it around and gave himself chances. Like, it still looks bad for him, but like he has been really resilient in this game.
Yes. Also, there is an extra thing to mention. Like, cdrake has to be careful about his score because if he drops below, gozik can do printing press and then service like on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is now a possibility. I mean, that is not very close at the moment, but
Yeah, like if he uses services twice. Okay, but if he uses services, cdrake will get printing press for sure. I think.
I so rarely have actually used the action of services.
Actually,
Wait, what was that action? Oh, it was optics.
oh,
Dangerous to use optics right now. I guess like Gojek is like, I really need to put this away.
um, but one interesting thing is that gozik now can win um, with Empire.
The third
Like he needs some factories and some
clocks.
yes. Like if he got, like I mean it's
One more clock and a couple. Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't have a great way of getting those. his score is already at a level with optics like
Oh,
that.
wow. Can cdrake get empire? Like he needs
So,
one
but he
crown.
also needs to not have a problem with the 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's slow. Quantum theory is slow. Explosives is slow. Like, can't gozik just draw and use perspective, and it's okay that it was shared?
Mhm.
I don't see any answer from cdrake for that. I guess maybe there could be something in hand.
I mean, yeah, I think it's.
I can't think of what it would be, but yeah, nothing on the board is going to answer just using perspective here.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, this was a great game.
It could also. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Well, it could have. I mean.
Yeah, I think perspective, unless that, like, what could even be in hand, in cdrake's hand, that would help behind in just about everything.
Yeah. Sect factor. Like he needs
Yeah.
composites basically.
Also clocks, but like there's not there's nothing in hand that is going to help him in clocks. Yeah, I mean, if you were ahead in leaves and could vaccinate or something,
Yeah, no.
even that wouldn't be quite good enough. Because gozik's going to 50 and would drop to 40, even if that were possible.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So I'm not thinking of anything that's going to get cdrake out of it this time. You got to maybe cover that 9, but publications is out there, so you can just uncover it.
Yeah.
Very, very unlikely, I think. Steal the 9, maybe.
But for that we need compass, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he had an 8, he could get like if he had an 8, mobility would do it. But
Uh-huh. Or rocketry.
yes.
I guess he's just like looking at his outs and seeing if there's anything, and probably not seeing anything. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's a concession.
Okay, so gozik wins the final tournament for 2023, and we'll see if he can join us for a post-game interview.